Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Shri Saraswatye Namaha Dhyanamoolam Gurur Murti Pujamoolam Gurur Padam Mantramoolam Gurur Vakyam Mokshamoolam Gurur Kripa. To the lotus feet of Sri Gurudev Ji, my humble pranam. Namaskaram, viewers of MYTV, and welcome once again to Love of Ramayana. Many a times in our lives, we come to conflict between love or duty. Love and duty in our personal lives, love and duty with harmony for our society. I ask you to think, are they different or are they interrelated? Sri Ramcharitamanas brings us to this very topic of love and duty. On the coronation of Sri Ram, Ma Kaikeyi approaches King Dashrath and asks for the fulfillment of two boons, two wishes that he had promised her. Kaikeyi, that Rajagunayanas is approaching, that embodiment of Dharma, King Dashrath. And she says, I would like you to fulfill these boons. The first is to make Bharat king, and the second to send Sri Rama into the forest for 14 years dressed as a hermit. Now this came about because in the past, King Dashrath was fighting a battle. Ma Kaikeyi was also there, present in that battle. And as the battle was going on, the wheel on his chariot was coming loose. And she used two of her fingers as the axle and the wheel so that he could complete his task. He was victorious in this battle, and in his joy of winning and her hard work for him, this sacrifice that she made, he gave her these two boons. She said, when the time is right, I will ask for this. And as we know, it is not easy to bring the entire Ramayana to you in a few minutes. So we're taking this topic of love and duty. King Dashrath becomes very distressed to hear Ma Kaikeyi's request at this time, when the whole kingdom is celebrating that Prabhu Sri Ram is coming to the throne to be king of right. He says to Ma Kaikeyi, More Bharati Ramu Doi Aanke. He says, why are you asking this? There is no difference between these two for me. They are both my eyes. Ma Kaikeyi says, you have given me two boon, and I have asked for you to fulfill them. Sri Ram now comes to understand what is going on, and seeing his father in such distress, he turns to his mother and he says, why, O mother, is father in such distress? And she says to him, he is having a conflict right now of love towards you and duty to uphold his words. Sri Ram, out of love for his parents and duty bound himself, Prabhu Sri Ram, that principled Maryada Purushottam Sri Ram, who is setting the example for us now, as a son, not as anything else, and he's thinking about this family unit. Sri Ram says out of duty now, Sunu janani soi सुत भर भागी जो पितु मातु वचन अनुरागी तनय मातु पितु तोष निहारा दुर्लभ जननी सकल samsara. He says, listen, mother. Blessed is that son who can obey his parents' command. A son like this to abide to this rule is very rare to come in this world, O mother. Look at the picture of love and duty and keep thinking in your mind, is there really a difference between these two words? For as parents, we know all the time. We love our children so very much. But if we don't do our duty of disciplining them, what will happen? It will become their destruction. Sri Ram here as the son now is taking up this duty to uphold the words of his father and to adhere to the approval of his mother's words also. With Ma Sita, Lakshman Bhaya, they go into the forest. When Bharat Bhai now comes to hear about this, he becomes very angry, admonishing everybody. Why is this happening? That brother who I love so much, he says, why has this happened, O mother? He gathered everyone in the kingdom, Guru, all of the people of the kingdom, the mothers, and he says, we are going into the forest to make the request of Sri Ram to come back to the kingdom where he rightfully belongs. In today's world, are we upholding these duties? King Dashrath told Ma Kaikeyi, they are both my eyes, I love them equally. But because Sri Ram is the eldest, this is why I chose to coronate him as king, not out of selfishness. Ma Kaikeyi is also showing us an example here of what duty means. Sometimes we come across this conflict in our very lives where we love someone very much, but the decision that we have to make out of duty to ourselves, to them, and to our society, it becomes very, very difficult. Mother is upholding the words, making the fulfillment, make the father uphold the fulfillment of his words, because he is a king. If he is to go back on his words, what will the people say of his kingdom? How will they trust him? She's setting this example. Sri Ram as a son is obeying his father and his mother. Bharat Bhai, out of this great love for Sri Ram, becomes destitute and takes everyone along with him to the forest. When they get there, Ma Kaikeyi says to Sri Ram, I have made a mistake. Come back to the kingdom. Sri Ram says, Ma, you have made no mistakes. It is my duty to uphold the words of my father. Bharat Bhaya went behind to Ma Kaushalya. Tell my brother, tell Sri Ram, come back, O Ma. We all love him very much. Out of my love for Sri Ram, I could even die. Everyone is listening to this conversation, the mother, the village people, the Guru. Kaushalya Mata says, out of love for Sri Ram, I will not allow him to stray from the path of his duties, his dharma. Love of this mother to have such a broad vision for her son to uphold what father's words are about. She did not succumb to this love in her heart that is crying constantly for Sri Ram. Now we see King Janak, who is also listening to all of this love being poured out. He is wisdom and he is the master of Dharma also. And as he is listening and watching this scene, he also, who has love for Sri Ram and Bharat Bhaiya equally, he asks of Bharat Bhaiya, I can see that you love Sri Ram very much. But what is love? What is love, Bharat? Now, in the scriptures, it tells us that dharma is the height of everything. But here, King Janak now is going to tell us that love, the force of love, cannot be bound by this dharma. It is not less than dharma. For remember that the scriptures, even though it mentions this way of humankind, man and woman, it is also setting a philosophy for us. Bharat Bhaiya, the ultimate devotee, love in itself, wanting the peace, supreme truth of Prabhu Sri Ram always in his heart, always in his presence, is setting this example for us in human actions. You and I have to constantly be aware of our love to everything and our duty also. So King Janak says, love is selfless, and yes, the force of love cannot be bound by this dharma. For when we get to that place in ourselves that is the ultimate devotion, the Lord has to turn and face us. He has to accept us. This is that union between the individual soul and Paramatma, the supreme soul. Even though it's depicted here in story form for us, this is the truth behind the philosophy of Sri Ramcharitamanas. So he says love. What is this love? You say you can die out of love. It is very easy to die out of love, but it is difficult for us to live for someone else that we love. Bharat Bhaiya, listening to this great counsel, he comes to understand what has happened, where Sri Ram stands, and what he should do. Humbly he goes before Sri Ram and he says, Prabhu, out of my love, I ask you now, tell me what is my duty. Out of his great love for Sri Ram, all this while he's saying, come back, come back. But now he realizes, between these two brothers, they are realizing how they have to uphold the dharma and the truth of their father's words. Because whichever one of them comes into ruling this kingdom, truth is what they have to stand on. They will one day also be seen as this truth, this love, this compassion, this peace that we all are. So on this day, as we are coming to Father's Day, allow me to say Happy Father's Day. And as you go about loving your children, do not forget your duty to them, to make them an asset of society, as Sri Ramcharitamanas is teaching us. Also, I would like to say a very happy birthday to a special, special young man, Jasmeet Singh Bath. Happy birthday and thank you for your love and kindness. Through the Ramayana, we are looking at duty and love. It comes from all corners. As we love and as we're doing our duty skillfully, love comes back to us 10 times, 100 times fold. We create our truth in relationships of parents and children and us to the society. So no, I believe that love and duty are one and the same, because we have to be truthful and loving in everything that we do. Also, let me say Happy International Yoga Day. Until we meet again, Jai Shri Ram.
Ramji Astrologer. Everything begins with faith. We walk by faith, not by sight. Ramji is in the USA. Virginia offers reliable and practical astrology solutions to all of life's problems. Confidentiality promise. Phone number is 571-551-8142. Email is ramjiastrologer@yahoo.com.